Hello, everyone. X-Walk Hill Bethelite here. And I want to talk a little bit about not empowering Jehovah's Witnesses. What I mean by empowering is basically helping them with the shunning. Helping your Jehovah's Witness family shun you by making it easier for them. Why would we do that? Right? And I don't think people do it intentionally. They're not intentionally saying, I'm going to assist my relative in shunning me because, why would anyone do that? I think that people sometimes make excuses for the actions of the cult of Jehovah's Witnesses. They excuse it and then don't respond in a manner that is appropriate according to that person's actions. So, for example, I have relatives who are Jehovah's Witnesses. Now, I will talk about Watchtower's false predictions. I will talk about how silly it is for these people to still have the main theme of the end of the world is around the corner when it hadn't been around. It's been around the corner for 100 years. That is the longest corner in the world. I will openly state these things. The reason why, I'm not going to keep quiet to help assist you as a Jehovah's Witness cult member. I'm not going to keep quiet to help assist you hide in your bubble of ignorance and insanity. So I will speak to people in my family about how ridiculous this is. Now, a relative called me, and essentially this relative asked me not to say anything to certain people in the family about Watchtower. If I talk about Watchtower, it has to be positive, is what they're asking me. Why would I assist? Why would I help empower this cult's stupidity? If these people are doing things and teaching things that are ridiculous, I will verbalize so. I'm not going to keep quiet. Why would I keep silent about it? Why would any of us keep silent about it? So basically, that phone call, ended in anger and rage, and you're not going to tell me what to do or what to talk about or who to talk about what about with, right? I'm not going to assist you. I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to enable you. I'm not going to empower you. Another thing that I would love to get some thoughts in the comment section about. And I have been guilty of this also. And that is hiding what Jehovah's Witness cult members do from family who aren't in the cult. So you may have family, and that family is not in the cult. And that family may have no idea that you're being shunned. I'm going to give you an example. So, I grew up with a Jehovah's Witness elder. And this elder had not spoken to, he's really bad at not speaking to relatives and not speaking to them for decades upon decades. Now, what this person will do in order to avoid the social reaction to him shunning his own relatives is lie. And when someone asks him, how's your daughter doing? How's such and such doing? Oh, she's doing great. Oh, he's doing great. He's fine. As if we've spoken in the last 3 decades. Like, come on now. So what the person is trying to do is avoid negative social backlash. What Jehovah's Witnesses do should come with social backlash. Their own family who aren't in the cult should not put up with people in their family shunning their kids and doing all this crazy, stupid stuff because Watchtower said so. Right? Think about it. You have family, most likely. Now, I know a lot of us, we've got a lot of family that's in the cult, but we should have some family, okay? Even if you're not close to them, we should have some family who aren't in the cult. And what people can sometimes do is try to be nice to the cult member who is abusing and shunning them. Trying to be nice to a person who is doing something abusive. Shunning is abusive. Shunning is abusive. So if a person is abusing you, what some people do is they keep it quiet. They don't tell family. They don't tell their friends. They don't tell people because the person being shunned doesn't want any negative backlash to fall back on the person shunning them. Think about this. Think about it. The person being shunned, abused, this happens with physical abuse too, where the person being abused, they don't want anything to happen to the person that's abusing them. That is enabling your abuser. We don't want to enable Jehovah's Witnesses and their abusive behaviors, the shunning, the trying to get people to essentially kill themselves instead of having blood transfusion if that's what's necessary to save their life. Or if they have a high chance of dying without it. See, this behavior is abusive and destructive. And we don't want to just keep quiet. We don't want to keep this to ourselves. If your relatives, if you have close relatives or even distant relatives, and they don't know what's going on, don't keep it a secret. Don't be quiet about it. Speak up about it. Right? We don't want to make it easy for them to shun. A lot of elders, matter of fact, JW.org, even lies about shunning. Oh, Jehovah's Witnesses don't shun. Right? The reason that they're doing this is because they know there is a negative backlash from the public for people who act in an abusive, ridiculous, insane manner. And Jehovah's Witnesses act in an abusive, ridiculous, insane, and extreme manner. So they just lie about it. They lie about it on jw.org, talking about, oh, we don't shun and we don't tell families to shun people and all that stuff. That is the biggest lie in the world. I've called elders and talked to them about it. Oh, no, we don't shun because I've got a gay relative and I talked to him, right? This person knows full well that the majority of Jehovah's Witnesses use shunning to an extreme degree. Don't let Jehovah's Witnesses be the ones to paint the picture of their image to the public. We, as basically abuse victims of our family who are Jehovah's Witnesses, and survivors of the cult, we talk amongst each other. We support each other. And while we are doing that, while we're talking with each other, supporting each other, watchtowers telling the general public, oh, we don't do anything like that. We don't shun people. We're not abusive. Don't let the cult itself be the only one painting a picture of its image to the public, because they're going to paint a perfect picture. They're going to paint a perfect picture. They're not going to tell anybody about anything that's going on. We want to have a part in painting the picture of the cult to our family who's not in it and the general public. Not just speaking to other ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, right? So I've recently talked to family, and this relative had no clue what was going on. They didn't really fully grasp what was going on, and how would they? How would your family, how would your aunt, uncle, cousins, people on that side of the family that you don't talk to as much because they weren't Jehovah's Witnesses and, you know, your family tried to keep you away from them or whatever the case may be. When you tell them about what you've experienced, this should be another support structure for you. You should have multiple support structures. You should have the XJW community, and you should have the support of your family because of the terrible things that your Jehovah's Witness cult family are doing to you. You should be able to tell all your family that's not in that cult what has happened. And I understand that a lot of us that were raised in that cult, we were taught not to get too close to our relatives who are not in that cult, not to hang out with them too much, not to talk to them too much. So we may not be that close to our relatives who are not Jehovah's Witnesses because of that. But again, let's not empower the cult. Let's not assist the cult by continuing the practice of not getting close to our family who are not Jehovah's Witnesses. We should be, all of us, me included, should be super close to our family who are not Jehovah's Witnesses. And it will take practice. It'll take time. It takes time for people to get in the habit of communicating when they haven't been doing it for years. Right? So if you're not super close to your family who aren't Jehovah's Witnesses, start getting the habit. Let them know you're going to be calling, you're going to be checking on them. and tell them what happened. Tell them about Jehovah's Witnesses. You never know. One of those relatives might be the person to wake your family member up. Right? You may not be able to wake your family member up, but because they'll try to shun you. But what about all your relatives that ain't never been Jehovah's Witnesses? When you tell them about the shunning and all the things that have been happening, it's a little bit darker. It's a little bit later than normal, but this is an important topic, a very important topic, because this is something I want to be working on, and this is something that I will be happy to assist anyone else to work on. Because you may speak to a relative and they may not believe you as to the reason why you hadn't talked to them in so long. I will be happy to back you up and say, yes, my family's the same. My experience is the same. Yes, Jehovah's Witnesses do shun and teach you to stay away from family, or not get too close to family who aren't in the cult. I'll be happy to assist, back you up. Why would they need that? Because I talked to a relative at a funeral. Well, how come I don't ever hear from you? And how come this and how come that? And then I explained to them about Jehovah's Witnesses, about my upbringing. And what do they say? Well, my hairdresser, who is a Jehovah's Witness, told me that that's not true. Again, letting the cult be the one to paint the picture of its image to the public. They're going to lie every time. They're going to paint a perfect picture every time. So let's not empower Jehovah's Witnesses. Let's not assist them. Let's not help them by being quiet about what's going on. Don't be trying to be nice to them. These people are shunning you, ain't talked to you in 9 decades, and don't be trying to be nice to them. Well, I want to be nice. I don't. Quit trying to be nice to them. Treat them the same way they would treat you. They treat you just as harshly as possible. Right? With the shunning, that's about as harsh as a person can possibly be. And that's how they would be with you. And us on our part, the least we could do is just be truthful with our family about what they're doing. They might not do it as much or as easily if everybody knows that they're doing it. It's easy for a Jehovah's Witness to shun you if the only people that know about the abuse of shunning is other cult members. Think about that. It's easy for a Jehovah's Witness to shun you if the only people that even know that they're doing this to you are other cult members. Right? Your family probably wouldn't put up with it. Your family probably would chew them a new one for doing something like that. But if we try to prevent that from happening by keeping it a secret, then we might as well be helping them shun. We might as well be shunning ourselves. Right? Let's not assist them. Let's not help them. Comment down below. I'm very interested in this. Do you have family members who are not in the cult? How close are you to those family members? Are those family members fully aware of the cult of Jehovah's Witnesses and the effect it's had on you and your relationship with them, and the shunning and the terrible things that's going on? This should be a whole nother support group A person shouldn't be leaving the cult of Jehovah's Witnesses and have absolutely no support to fall back on at all other than just the XJW community. You should have family who aren't in the cult also. Just like I do. And a large portion of my family is in that cult, but also a large portion of my family is not in it. And guess what my family oftentimes will try to do? I'll try to get phone numbers and things like that from people who aren't in the cult. Oh, it's hard. It's like pulling teeth, right? They try to keep you away from people because they don't want you to tell them anything about what they're doing. They want to hide what they're doing because it's wrong. Let's not assist them. A person doing something abusive and doing something wrong, it is so much easier for them to be abusive if they know the victim will be quiet about it. That's true of pretty much any type of victimization. It's so easy to victimize somebody. It's so easy to do something to somebody if you feel this person to keep quiet about it. This won't get out that I did this. Right? That's true of, I keep moving around because I know it's getting dark and I'm going to wrap it up here in a little bit. But I'm just trying to emphasize the importance of not being an easy victim. Not empowering the abuser. It's so easy to victimize somebody who's not going to say something, who's going to be quiet. It's true of kids and adults. If there's a kid that's going to let another kid take their lunch and they won't say nothing to the teacher, they won't say nothing to the person driving the bus, they're just going to be quiet, lower their head, cry about it. This person is going to get their lunch taken every day. They're making it easy. They're an easy target. Let's not be like that. It's the same with adults. A man that wants to hit his wife or abuse the kids or something like that, it's so much easier for him to do it if nobody in the family knows about it. I know somebody who's not a Jehovah's Witness. And what's the problem? The problem is he's abusive. And he tells his family not to say anything to anybody else because he doesn't want them to think negatively about him. Right? Most abusers want the victim to be quiet and help the abuser victimize them. They need the abuser needs the victim's help to be quiet about the abuse. Let's not do that. Let's speak out, not just on YouTube, but also with our families, because oftentimes I don't think that our families who were never Jehovah's Witnesses, I don't think that they look up our YouTube videos. I don't think they know a lot about what's going on. So let's inform them. And I will assist you in doing that. 937-789-4029. That's a phone number. If you need backup when you're talking to a relative, trying to explain to them what's been going on, and they say, no, Jehovah's Witnesses aren't like that. How do I know? Because a Jehovah's Witness told me they're not. Oh, no. I'll back you up. Yeah, no, you got plenty of people to back you up in regards to what Jehovah's Witnesses do. So it's not just your word against that Jehovah's Witnesses. Yeah, I'll back you up too. Yeah, same thing happened to me. You know what I mean? Let's speak up about it. Let's not just let these abusers abuse and have literally no social backlash at all. People think Jehovah's Witnesses are good people because they don't know what's going on. The average person does not know Jehovah's Witnesses shun like that. So comment down below. Let me know what you think. I've got family members, phone numbers that aren't Jehovah's Witnesses or that are out in my phone now, and I try to contact them more often because we should have that support group, right? We should be able to rely on the support of our family who aren't in the cult, and our family who aren't in the cult should have our back, right? They should have our back, and they should speak up about what's going on along with us. That was wrong of you to not talk to your own son or daughter, or your own mom or dad for 10 years. That is ridiculous. That is insane. The whole family who's not Jehovah's Witnesses should be on them about that. Right? It shouldn't be easy. Shunning should not be as easy as it is. Right? A person can go and it's so easy to do something and do it in secret. That's what Jehovah's Witnesses do. So comment down below. Let me know what you think. So far, I've been doing it myself. I've been talking to family myself about Jehovah's Witnesses, what they teach, the ridiculousness of it, and the shunning, and the effect of the shunning. And it's been successful. It's been successful. They're like, wow, I didn't know that. Oh no. And I've had relatives say that sounds like that's the devil. Like they say, it came out of their mouth, not mine. That sounds satanic what they're a part of. Right? And then they fully take your side because that's completely wrong. Right? So I want to assist all of you in getting the support from your family that you should have. It could be a little bit difficult trying to get the phone numbers or getting in contact, but let's work on doing that, because all of us should have family who aren't Jehovah's Witnesses. The cult of Jehovah's Witnesses should stop with the relatives who are already in it, because we should be informing everybody else that's out of it how crazy it is. Comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know, do you have family who aren't Jehovah's Witnesses? Because if there's anybody who has literally, I'm talking literally, their entire family inside that cult, oh, I'd love to hear about that. That's to me is rare. To me, it's rare for their entire family to be inside that cult. If your entire family is not in that cult, you should be super close to the family who aren't in it. That's an additional support group in addition to the XJW community. So I want to assist people in making use of that support from family, explaining to family why they need the support. I'll talk to them for you. Again, phone number 937-789-4029. Jehovah's Witnesses can shun, but we ain't going to be quiet about them doing it. We ain't going to be quiet about all the stupid teachings they have. X-Wall Kill Bethelite signing out.